Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into FunctionGemma. It's a brand new AI from Google that's, get this, small enough to live right on your phone, but it's also smart enough to act like a personal conductor for all your apps. So let's break down how this whole on-device thing is about to completely change how we use our tech every single day. And this didn't just come out of nowhere in some secret lab. FunctionGemma is actually a direct answer to what the developer community was asking for. They were saying, hey, we need small, efficient models that can call tools, and guess what? Google actually listened. So this is a really cool story about building with developers, not just for them. Okay, so what exactly is function calling? Or tool calling, you'll hear both. Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator. It's the essential bridge that takes what you say in plain English and turns it into a very specific, structured command that an app can actually understand and, do something with. It's literally what turns play a movie into the signal your TV needs to start the show. All right, let's get into what makes FunctionGemma tick. First off, this isn't your typical do-everything AI. Nope, think of it more like a specialist. It's a version of the Gemma model that's been fine-tuned for one main job, turning your words into actions. And it does all that while still being great at, just understanding regular human language.
Okay, let's get into why FunctionGemma's small size is actually its greatest strength. I know, in the world of AI, we're always hearing bigger is better, right? Well, FunctionGemma really flips that idea on its head. It's a total game changer.
So check this out. The model has just 270 million parameters. Now, if you're not deep in the AI world, parameters are kind of like the knobs and dials the model uses to think and learn. And in a world where we're used to hearing about models with billions or even trillions of these dials, 270 million is incredibly lightweight. But trust me, you should not let that number fool you. This thing is an absolute powerhouse.
And that small size is the whole secret to its power. See, because it runs right on your device, instead of having to call out to the cloud, FunctionGemma gives you these huge wins in 3 areas that, let's be honest, matter to pretty much everyone. It is way faster, it's much more private, and it is a lot cheaper to run.
So let's talk about what that on-device approach actually means in the real world. For starters, your personal data, it stays on your phone, right where it should be. The app can work even if you're offline. Plus, it can tap into those specialized chips in modern phones, like GPUs and NPUs, to be incredibly fast. It's all just more responsible and affordable. And this isn't just a small step up, you guys. This makes totally new kinds of apps possible. All right, that's enough theory for now. Let's get to the fun part and see how this actually works in the real world. Because honestly, seeing FunctionGemma in action is when it all really clicks. So let's take a super common example. You just talk to your phone, right? You give it a simple command to add something to your calendar. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've kind of seen this before. But the revolutionary part is what's happening under the hood and the fact that it's all happening right there on your device. Okay, so here's where the magic happens. And remember, none of your data ever leaves your phone. First, the model figures out what you're trying to do. Then it correctly picks out the Create Calendar event tool as the right one for the job. And finally, it pulls out the important details, lunch and tomorrow, and just hands them off to your calendar app to do its thing. It's totally seamless.
But come on, this goes way beyond just simple tasks. The exact same logic can be used for brand new ways of interacting with really complex stuff, like a mobile game. I mean, just imagine telling your game what you want to do next just by talking to it.
So in this example, FunctionGemma hears just one sentence, but it's smart enough to create 2 separate commands from it. It knows it needs to call the plant crop function with sunflowers and top row, and then it knows it has to call the water crop function for that same top row. I mean, this just opens up a whole new world of super fluid, voice-controlled interaction that just feels, well, natural. Now, this is where things get really, really interesting, especially for developers. FunctionGemma is not some lockdown black box. Not at all. It was actually designed from day one to be customized, to be fine-tuned for whatever your specific app needs. And honestly, this is a total game changer. If your app has its own special set of tools, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping the model gets it. No, you can actually train FunctionGemma to be an expert on them. It can learn the ins and outs of your app's functions and pretty much become a natural extension of your code. And hey, this isn't just talk. Look at this chart. That fine-tuning gives you a huge real-world boost in accuracy. I mean, just using the basic FunctionGemma model is already better than the base Gemma model. But when you take the time to fine-tune it for your own tasks, whoa, the performance just skyrockets. It starts to compete with models that are way, way bigger.
And maybe the best part of all, you don't have to completely change how you work to use it. FunctionGemma was built for the real world. It's compatible with all the popular AI platforms, frameworks, and tools that developers like you are probably already using day in and day out.
They've also made it super simple to get started. The models are right there on all the main places you'd expect, like Hugging Face and Kaggle. And Google even put together this awesome Gemma cookbook that's packed with guides and code examples, basically everything you need to get up and running fast.
So let's pull back for a second. We've seen all this cool stuff. What does it actually mean for the future of the apps we use every single day? Where is all this on-device AI really taking us?
Well, what it means is that we are right on the edge of a whole new generation of apps. Apps that are smarter, more intuitive, and just more responsive. Apps that can act on what we say instantly, without shipping our private data off to the cloud and without costing developers a fortune to run. This is a huge, huge leap forward for on-device AI.
So, look, Google has handed over the tool, the guides, the whole framework. It's this powerful new building block just waiting for developers to create that next wave of smart, interactive experiences. So, really, the only question left to ask is, what will you call with FunctionGemma?